Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Stacey Van Dyke. The fate of 40-year-old Raymond Gunn is in the hands of a jury. Gunn is accused of firing a deadly shot at 41-year-old Eric Hayes last summer in North Fargo. A verdict could come at any moment as the jury has spent the day deliberating the case. Surveillance video seen in court shows a fight between the two where prosecutors say Gunn pistol whipped Hayes and later fired a shot into his stomach. Gunn's defense argues it was self-defense as he fell backward with Hayes, who was armed with a knife, towering over him. If convicted, Gunn faces life in prison. New for you at 4, the investigation into the death of a man in Breckenridge has been completed. Breckenridge police say a man who was found dead in his home on Wednesday died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. He was just 28 years old. Police discovered the body when they were called for a report of a domestic violence incident inside the home on 8th Street North. In a statement, Breckenridge Police Chief Chris Karlsgaard said, in part, this is a very unfortunate and tragic event for our community. Names of those involved have not yet been released. You might have seen this on your way to work this morning. The valley was dusted with snow and some areas saw ice, and next week isn't looking much better. Hutch joins us with a first look at what he's watching. Hutch?
Well, thanks so much. We're all watching this wind. We've been hearing it since late last night, and it continues to blow across the valley. Gusts are still very strong out there. Those clouds moving by quick, and from time to time, we've even seen a couple of renegade snowflakes flying through the skies of the FM area this afternoon. Take a look at peak wind gusts. Cooperstown, your hats are now somewhere in South Dakota. 58-mile-per-hour gusts recorded there today. 48-mile-per-hour gusts in Fargo. 51 in Thief River Falls. So windy no matter where you were. The snow today, this morning, spread from Grand Forks into northwest Minnesota. And amounts ranged from a trace to a good half-inch in Grand Forks, but it reduced visibility. The north wind continues to blow, and here is a look at the latest wind speeds. As we head into our drive home, we have those gusts still over 45 miles per hour and near 50 down in the Sisseton Hills. Lakes country, we have gusts 35 to 50 miles per hour. That I-94 corridor has a nice backwind if you're driving toward Twin Cities. Cold air in the 20s up in our northern eastern counties. We're at 41 in Jamestown. Here's your wind forecast. We stay with gusts over 40 miles per hour until sunset. Then after that, it only decreases a little bit. Overnight, gradual decrease, but we'll still have gusts 25 to 35 miles per hour. We've issued a first alert weather day for next week. A big storm system is making its way towards us. I'll have the latest in your hour-by-hour forecast for the weekend, and that in a moment.
All right, thanks so much, Hutch. The Dilworth Police Department is asking for the public's help in identifying 2 people suspected of shoplifting. These surveillance pictures are from the Dilworth Walmart around 9 p.m. Sunday. The PD tell us these suspects have been on their radar before. If you recognize them, you're asked to contact Dilworth Police. The Minneapolis teacher strike that's been going on for more than 2 weeks may finally be coming to an end. The city's public school system has reached a tentative deal with the teachers union on a new contract that insiders say would increase pay, among other things. The deal still needs to be approved by union members. If that happens, students could be back in class as early as Monday. Ratification votes are expected over the weekend. The war in Ukraine is now entering its 2nd month. Today, President Biden is in Poland visiting U.S. troops stationed there and learning more about the growing refugee crisis. Skylar Henry has the latest.
President Biden sat down with the president of Poland and humanitarian leaders to get a frontline update on the refugee crisis. The European Union says about 3.5 million people have fled Ukraine.
Part of my disappointment is that I can't see it firsthand like I have in other places. They will not let me, understandably, I guess it, cross the border and take a look at what's going on.
The president also shared a meal with U.S. troops stationed in Poland. They're in the country to protect the NATO member from any potential Russian attack. Inside Ukraine, Russia bombed a fuel depot near the capital, Kyiv. I want to kill Russian President Putin, this woman says. Our children are suffering for no reason. Ukrainian officials now say the bombing of a theater in Mariupol last week killed at least 300 people. The theater was being used as a shelter. The word children printed in Russian on the ground outside. The United Nations says there is evidence of mass graves in Mariupol, including one containing as many as 200 bodies. In the north, the city of Chernihiv is in ruins, and to the east, hundreds are still living in Kharkiv's underground train station. Early Friday morning, the president and the European Union announced a new joint task force designed to wean Europe off of Russian energy, which the president says is necessary to cripple Russia's military.
Putin has issued Russia's energy resources to coerce and manipulate its neighbors. He's used the profits to drive his war machine.
Now there's evidence the Kremlin's main political party has opened an office in Mariupol and is providing food, phone cards, and power strips to the Ukrainians still there. The food containers are marked with the letter Z, which is what Russia calls its invasion of Ukraine. Skyler Henry, CBS News, the White House.
President Biden will meet with refugees tomorrow and plans to give a speech. Thousands of future activists took to the streets today to again raise awareness of the climate crisis, as well as showing solidarity with Ukraine. Two Moscow residents and climate activists who have fled Russia say it was hard for Europe to comprehend how hard it was to demonstrate in Russia. The global climate crisis took place in several European cities, including the Austrian capital Vienna, where thousands also gathered Friday. Crowds gathered for the groundbreaking ceremony of the National Medal of Honor Museum Foundation this morning. Headlined by General Mark Milley, the museum celebrated welcomed Medal of Honor recipients, national leaders, and supporters of the project on its site in Arlington, Texas.
The National Medal of Honor Museum will enshrine the stories of our Medal of Honor recipients for future generations to come. And these stories of selfless service deserve a permanent home. And those stories will now live here in this museum.
The Medal of Honor is the nation's highest award for valor in combat. The museum will stand in affirmation of the values of the Medal of Honor and its more than 3,500 brave recipients, only 66 of whom are still living today. Major tech companies will likely face strict new antitrust rules in Europe this fall. The European Union has agreed to sweeping changes designed to prevent the largest companies from squashing smaller competitors. The new rules aim to head off digital giants like Apple, Meta, Google, and Amazon from giving preference to their own products over others. It also places tighter restrictions on targeted ads online. Planned Parenthood North Central states, which includes the Dakotas, Minnesota, Iowa, and Nebraska, received an unexpected donation. The company was gifted $20 million from billionaire philanthropist Mackenzie Scott. It's the largest donation in the organization's history. Scott is the former wife of Amazon founder and CEO Jeff Bezos. She revealed that she's donated nearly $4 billion to 465 nonprofits, including $275 million to Planned Parenthood. There's new research on a treatment for depression that might surprise you. An ingredient found in so-called magic mushrooms may have long-lasting benefits after just a few doses. The psychedelic drug found in the mushrooms is being studied to treat depression. Scientists say it could be an important alternative when antidepressants are not effective enough or have side effects.
Many people end up failing or relapsing with those compounds.
The medical potential of the compound was studied back in the 60s until concerns about abuse shut down research. But Dr. Griffiths helped restart experiments and found that along with therapy, it reduced or even eliminated depression for most patients for up to a year after treatment. Good news today for coffee drinkers. According to new research, having 2 or 3 cups of coffee every day appears to lower a person's chance of falling victim to heart disease and heart failure. The findings were based on data from UK Biobank, which included information on more than 500,000 people during a 10-year period. Researchers say they're not sure if caffeine is the main factor for the apparent health benefits, saying there are numerous other compounds in coffee that could play a role. The rodeo is coming to the Fargo Dome. Top professional contestants will compete to earn their place in the Wrangler National Finals in Vegas.
These guys are really worth the ticket. They have NFL and professional tennis player footwork. I mean, they're very, very talented. In addition to that, he is a real live cowboy. I mean, he's calving and handling business with cattle. They have to have a bull sense and know when and where to move to get in between a bull and a fallen cowboy.
Taylor went on to say this Fargo stop on the tour is critical for competitors. The rodeo is tonight and tomorrow night at the Fargo Dome, with events starting at 7:30. Tickets are available on the Fargo Dome's website and at the door. Supporters of Gigi's Playhouse are gathering tonight for the 5th annual I Have a Voice Gala. The evening of inspiration and impact is the largest fundraiser of the year for Gigi's. Proceeds will go to rebuilding the Playhouse, which burned down last May at the hands of an arsonist. They're currently operating in a temporary location while the Playhouse can be rebuilt so they can continue providing programming for people with Down syndrome. Another blow for Gigi's came just this week when thieves broke into their construction site and stole tools and copper wiring worth more than $7,000. If you'd like to help rebuild the Playhouse, we have a link to do that at valleynewslive.com.